Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's going to be in the house today. I just wanted to remind you that when you come to our channel, we would love for you to be a part of our community. And being part of our community means that you can simply text biz to 33777. We'd love to share with others what it is you do and how you do it. So there you are. Meanwhile, we're going to bring Coach Caren in to the studio. Let's see if we can get her in because she's coming to us all the way from Toronto, Canada. And this morning we had some technical difficulties, but let's see what we can do. Coach Caren. Oh, here we are. Hold me. Let me add this one to the stream and remove this one.
I am so sorry.
It's quite all right. We are live and we are getting ready. I'm gonna take this one out. Let me kick this one out.
Yeah, kick that one out.
Okay, there we are.
I'm just moving over because I'm using my phone today. Sorry guys, I don't know why my computer keeps kicking me out. So
Okay.
let me see if you can see make sure you guys can see my face. Prop me up in a box or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the beauty of being live.
Yeah. Sorry
There
guys.
we go. There we go. Keep that.
There we go.
There.
Yeah.
So welcome, Coach. We always look forward to hearing from you, and it is your time to shine. What are we going to be talking about? Before we do that, let me tell people that you are here on the internet. You can be found at Profits in Daily on Facebook, on Instagram. Coach Caren has an extensive background in business. She's been in retail. She's been in what would you call it? Household cleaning.
Yes, residential and commercial.
Yes, commercial, janitorial cleaning, and she's done manufacturing. Um, it, her depth of business is so deep, guys, and we're going to draw from that well right now. So make sure you got your pencils and papers because she's going to tell us some fabulous things about how to do business better. So if you're looking to make a profit daily, you want to tune in. So I'm leaning forward, Coach Caren.
Okay, and let me tell you, when we want to talk about greatness, all kinds of things interrupt. My computer there shut down on me for no good reason. Coming back up telling me I have no internet. Well, obviously I'm on the internet. And because good stuff is being shared on the BizChicks, they're trying to interrupt. Okay, so we're not gonna let it happen.
So today must be really, really important because he does not want this news to get out.
No, but we're getting it down. We're getting it down. We got a phone, and so we'll get it down. Thank God for technology that we can do, different things. And so we started all this month, and we're going to be talking about wealth. We talk about the study of wealth at the end of May, and we continue. Last week we talked about time wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're talking about physical wealth, because that's the part that you have to stay on top of. That's the part that is necessary to sustain you. You can spend so much time, like for instance here, when you're grieving, if you're in grief mood, you're going to grieve. But if you could physically be able to tap into the things you're supposed to do, your grieving would be there. Yes, it's not going anywhere, but you'd surprise yourself in how well you behave, how well you recover, how your understanding just open up, and you can talk to yourself knowing that today's a hard day, but tomorrow doesn't have to be. The pain will be there, but you can carry on through. And this is the thing about health. It doesn't only mean physically. I mean, you can physically run somewhere. It means it helps your mind. It helps your body. It really clear the cobweb away. If you ever want to do something great, start walking. If you can't do anything, you got no money, and you don't know what to do, I want you to start walking. I don't care where you walk. Take a walk. And you will be surprised of what would happen. Now, if you're not paying attention, it feels like nothing happened. But if you take a walk, you will start thinking about different things. And at the end of that walk, you're going to come back. Can't believe with the stuff you just came back with. Here's the key. Just allow yourself. Don't fight it. Don't force it. And some people are going to get a walk the first day and they're going to feel like nothing happened. 7 days later, when they look back, they'll say, holy crap, this is what happened on day one and I didn't pay attention to it. It is so vital to understand your health, your physical wealth. And so we're going to go talking about it. How healthy are you? And if you don't know, go check it out. If you're walking, you're breathing short, you need some more walking because it helps with your lungs, it helps with your breathing, it helps with the oxygen flowing.
You're short of breath.
Yes. You need to go check that out. You need to look after that. You can go to the doctor and get checked out, but I promise you, a bit of walking will help a whole lot. And here's the key. When you start looking after your health, before you get to the doctor, it is so much better because if they were going to give you 2 pills, they're going to give you 1 now. Or might give you none because they might just see a few things that you can self-correct and you don't even need a pill. So you don't get there and get yourself on pills. This is my thing is I like to tell my clients, stay away as much as possible. Do the things that you know that you can do, that you don't have to be in a pill. I know it's common in this world today that we on something. When I get to the doctor and I say, I take nothing, they're like, nothing? And they go through this whole list of, no, nothing. You could not take anything. This is not boasting. This is just taking care of yourself.
This and I can remember my doctor saying if I'm willing to, exercise and drink water and watch what I eat, then I wouldn't need to take the medication. I said, so what I can do instead of this? She said, eat right, exercise, right?
Yeah.
So those 2 things right there, and hydrate.
Yes. And find foods that hydrate you well. Find foods that have high in fiber so you can be steady to the washroom. Any toxin you're taking out, you're dispersing it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how healthy you are. Go check that out. Go figure it out. And then what keeps you this way? Like, what are the things you're doing? What are your ritual? Like, what are you doing to stay this way? Because it's not good enough to get this way. It's just like money. It's not good enough to make money. But good morning, Doc. But it's to continuously make that money and stay in that frame of mind. Because over time, it's not about the money anymore. When you hit $1 million, when you really understand, because you can hit $1 million, know you make money, but then once you come to the understanding that now I'm a millionaire, the money thing that you were trailing behind, and nothing's wrong with it, let me just tell you, it's you realize that, hey, there's other things I really want to do, and now the money is giving me the freedom to do them. And I now worry that, my grocery bill is $1,000 and I can't fill my pantry. I can fill it. If somebody come and eat it way short my other kid's meal. So there's the different things. And it sounds so simple and basic, but rarely that's what have people going when they're not sure how they're going to pay all the things that they want to pay, car payment, mortgage, rent, whatever that is, and put food in their bellies. And still, if they have debt, clear it off and still start a business and still have vacation. Those are the things that bother people. Simple things keep people up at night. Okay. Now, other things probably can keep you up and you make a lot of money too, but you are going to be in a different bracket of thinking process. So you answer it faster. So if you have no money, that's all you focus on. When you got money and there's a problem, you focus on how you can leverage that money to make it work for you. Sometimes it don't have to be you, it could be somebody else because you feel like you can afford to pay them to have it happen, right?
Yes.
You could pay them. So you want to stay that way. And number 3, we're going to talk about where should you be at this moment to stay this way. And this is just intentional. This word, you have to keep using it. Put it on your wall. Be intentional of the things that you do want to see happen and stay focused on it. Very, very important. When you don't, and you're going to fall off, let me just be frank, you're going to fall off. But if you consistently do it in the same focus, you hop back on really quickly. If you were taking the train and you stop off at the wrong stop, some people will be there whining. Oh my God, I can't believe now I'm going to be late for work. And they're whining, which in the other person might just say, okay, let me take another train. And they just go down the stairs or up the stairs, wherever they need to be and get another train. And so they can, move quickly on their feet. And that's what you have to think about, when we're doing these things.
How to pivot. So now I'm not sure where we are here. You said Where should we be to stay healthy? Is that what we're
No,
talking?
no. Today we're talking about physical health, and the first question was how wealthy are you? How healthy are you?
Yes.
So I wanted people to figure out where the status is in the health arena, and I want you to not. I repeat, I want you to not worry about where you are right now because you are where you are. There's no point being upset that I'm overweight or whatever. You're just where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to know so you can fix it.
Okay.
That's it. That's it, guys. You need to know where you are to fix it. How healthy are you? I had this family friend once, and he had a wood um, uh, flooring business. That's what he had. He laid people's floor, and he
Mm-hmm.
was just getting bigger and bigger. And he was sad because he lost his dad. So several things happened. And I said to him, I said, you got to lose weight and you got to get back into working out. I don't care what you do, but you got to do it. And he would say to me several times, he says, Karen, you don't understand. I said, no, I don't understand, but you got to do it because you're going to lose the business. And I am talking money. I'm going to show you how this relate directly. And I would say to him, you got to go work out. I don't care if you walk around the bend 2 or 3 times, you got to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and if you work out and you're working out, your business is going to thrive. How is this possible? You got more energy. You're thinking clearer. You're making better decisions. And he wouldn't listen. And he keep gaining weight. And he lost workers because he started not attending his systems. He started getting relaxed. He started living in a lazy man land. Yes, I'm saying the word. And he agreed over time. That's what he was doing. His
Mm-hmm.
health deteriorated so badly that he lost that whole business.
Yep. A little
Mhm.
sleep, a little slumber,
Mhm.
a little folding of the hands leads to
Yes.
poverty.
Exactly. Exactly. And now we're talking about somebody with money. Let me tell you, we're talking about somebody with money. So you want to take care of your health. You want to take care of your health. Now, he was able to come back up, but it took him a long time
Mm-hmm.
to get back on his feet. And so I want you to take care of your health. Okay, how much money you have right now or you don't have. Take a walk. I'm going to insist on that's all I'm going to say. Take a walk. You don't have to do the rest. Just take a walk. Allow yourself to think, be in that space where you can come up with great ideas and turn them into something powerful to bring you that cash that we talk about all the time. We're talking about wealth, guys. We're talking about time wealth. We're talking about physical wealth right now. That is big in your pocket. That is big in your pocket. If something is wrong with you and you're healthy, you go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, you can do far better. I'm not saying I'm going to keep you alive because nobody could do that. The doctors can't even do that. That's a God thing. But while you're here and have the strength, I want you to be as healthy as possible to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's it.
We talk about this a lot on Thursdays
Hmm.
with Robin and her guests, and they give us information on how to stay healthy because we know if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth.
You can't. You can't.
And not being able to focus, not being able to move forward, feeling sluggish, moving around will help that. And so, how do you suggest we start? How many minutes? Maybe.
I'd say if it's really, if you can't, I like 15 minutes, but if you can't do much, do seven. Do 7 minutes. That's it. If all you can start with is 7 minutes, and
Okay.
I say seven because when you say five, by the time you do this and that, 7 minutes, you get there, but the intentions need to be set the night before, or the day before. Just let's be clear. So
Okay.
you know that for 7 minutes, you put on your timer on your phone, you dance to music, you walk up and down, you go for a walk around the block, you do whatever you need to do for that 7 minutes. And maybe when you're starting out, doing the mornings, then try to move yourself up to mornings and afternoon and watch your thinking pattern. Initially, if it's toxic, it's going to be that way. But you're going to slowly but surely move it into the positive area because can't help but do that. You can't help but move towards that. Okay. Once you
Hmm.
start happening, whatever happens, come home and start your journal. Write in your journal. Write on a book. It don't have to be fancy. Just get in there and write your feelings down. You're getting rid of it. You're getting it outside of you. You're gonna see that there's things for you to work on. Maybe you hire somebody, or maybe you go through it yourself until you're ready to. Whatever you need to do, get out there and get it done. Okay. And number two, what helps you to stay this way? Consistency.
Mm.
Consistency and focus helps you to get that way. Sometimes when I tell people about focus, they think you got to stand there and stare at something. Or no, focus means when you're in the thing that you're doing at the time, you focus on that thing. That's it. Don't be pulled in several directions. Take off your phone. Take off notifications. Take off the computer if you're in a focus state. If you're writing something, pay attention to what you're writing. Take all the distractions out until you can handle distraction. And it's not a forever thing. I want to tell you, it's not a forever thing. If you're distracted easily, I want you to take everything away, and then I want you to bring it back one at a time. And here's why: the world will not serve you by yourself. This is not how the world works. People are going to be in it, and people are going to distract you. Well, the reason you're bringing it in back is because it helps you to understand how to focus with people. But maybe initially you need to focus on your own first, and then you can focus on other people, with other people around. Meaning, if you have Facebook open or something, that's what I really mean about that. And this will help you to stay in doing. And this goes for money. So I'm going to show you how this works for money too. When you understand, so I said, how wealthy are you? But I'm just going to put that in. How much money do you have? I only have $10, Coach Caren. It's okay. So you got $10. Hold on to that $10. Don't touch that $10. Keep that $10 there. How are you going to keep that $10? Same thing we're talking about. What helps you to stay focused? That's all I'm going to do, because I want to add 20 more to it. Why do I want to add 20 more to it? Well, I want to buy a bike. And if I keep adding 10 to it, I'll be able to buy a bicycle. I don't care who come to you and who cry to you. Do not give them the $10. And you do not treat yourself with anything with that $10, because we're building on it. And that's what you're doing with your health. You're building on your health. That's it. So you start with 7 minutes, and your goal is to move to 15 minutes. So you might want to go to 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, or 10, then 12, then 15, depending on who you are as a person. And eventually, if your goal is to ultimately do an hour, then you work up gradually. You give yourself markers when you get there. You're going to feel good. And there's days you're not going to want to do it. But because you have the mark of where you're going, you're going to do it.
You know something? I can remember when I was on vacation, I started walking. And like you said, I started with 15 minutes. I knew that I wasn't in the best of shape.
Right.
So I started with 15 minutes, went from 15 to 20,
Mm-hmm.
20 to 30.
Right.
Next thing I knew, I was walking 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was over a period of like 2 or 3 months.
Yes. Yes.
But I was committed to form a habit of walking.
Yes. Yes.
So, and this is something that really doesn't cost us anything.
Anything. This is the good news. It doesn't cost us anything. I know a Uber driver, and he said to me, he says, Caren, this was the hardest thing for me to do. We'd met years ago, and so we've been friends a long time. And he said he's an army guy, so he know discipline and all that stuff. But he fell off because he came off the army, years ago. So he's not doing this stuff. And he says, when I commit to go to bed at night, this was the hardest part, because everything would happen. His mom would need him, his wife would need him, and he wanted to get to bed at 8. That was the goal. And I said to him, start at 10 and move down to 8. So you get everybody used to the idea that you're not going to be available at 11 and 1 in the morning anymore. Your day finished and you're not doing it. And you're going to have to inform them. You're going to have to send them a text. You're going to have to send them something in the mail if possible. I don't care how you do it, but you're going to keep informing them, and they're going to get fed up of the information, but they're going to understand that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. So at this point, he can go to bed at 8. Even if he can make more money staying up later, he wouldn't do it, because he understands that if he doesn't keep that habit, he lost 100 pounds, so he was really excited about that. He doesn't want to go back there. B, he's working on tightening skin and a whole bunch of things at this moment in time. So he's got a lot of goals that he's reaching for, and it's just nice to see that he's keeping it. But he said, Caren, I gotta tell you, it's just hard. It is hard as heck to be able to stay on track with this, especially when I meet an old army buddy. I'm like, I just want to go do it. And I say to him, I said, listen, I want to, but here's where I'm at. And, when you're good buddies, you understand. They're like, shucks, I wish you could come, but I get it. So they're in town, wherever he is, he has a night that he would take, like maybe Friday night or Saturday night. If they're available those nights, he's fine. But Sunday to Thursday night, he's not available. is
Okay.
not available. And you have to decide this for yourself. And this is how you stay focused on anything. He knows that he has to do this. I remember the first time when we first did some sessions, and I said to him, you're going to have to do, I know how much money we talk about you want to make, but this commitment, because it's affecting your health, you're going to have to take less money right now, but make more money later. And he wasn't doing a Uber on the side. And he didn't like it. He didn't like it. But he saw what it could do for him. He saw he had two business on his side. He saw that tackling it that way without taking rest, without sticking to the schedule. And guys, I know, but sticking to the schedule, it's gonna beat you up mercifully. I just want you to know, I'm gonna be straight up with you. It's gonna beat you up mercifully because it wants you to bend. But the minute you don't bend, that's what is showcasing to yourself that you can get this done.
Mm.
This is the same thing with money. That's why I wrote those principles. They're coming out soon. They're going to be a whole package that you can have physically in your hand because I know it too well. I when I started a principle, not only did I do it, I had my son do it. I had a bunch of people test it out to be sure. Terry and Fran can attest to it, where it really makes you think. It really puts you in a position to every time you go to do something, here's what I need to do. And guys, this is the basic level. There's just so much more in it that you can keep forwarding yourself into. When somebody's got 100,000, when somebody's got 1,000,000, don't you think they want to go spend it and do crap with it too? They mightn't tell you, but they feel the same way. It just in a different area, and they have to have the discipline to stay focused to build upon it. Okay, that's what I'm asking you guys. Build upon it.
I think, Coach, I think that when people have $1 million, it depends on how they came into it.
For sure, for sure.
Did they win the lottery, or did they save for it? Did they invest to get it? Did they work for it? These things make a difference because it's about focus. What were you focused on?
For sure. For sure. And when we talk about the money, we'll tap into that. But this is just me
did you
skimming
change
over
your
it.
mind while you were on the journey?
Yes.
Did you learn some things while you were on the journey?
Yeah.
Makes a difference in what decisions
it does. It does. And even if you won the lottery, because we always talk about the people who win the lottery and squander the money, we leave out there's a group of people who make money and haven't done that people don't talk about because it's not gossip, it's not bringing your attention. But there's people who win the lottery, sit on that money, didn't touch it, and just waited to figure out what they want to do with it. And so there's those people too. So there's all kinds of people in terms of the lottery. And some people say just get a financial planner. Do not go to a financial planner until you understand what you want. He or she's not a magician. They're going to guide you for sure in things that make sense in their world. You need to know who you are as a person. This is why I love self-development, and this is why I love teaching people how to find themselves. I used to have a free membership where people can come in and just find themselves. And, I had some test runners in there, and a lot of them were saying, Caren, you pushed me so hard, I can't believe it. And I hated it. But then once they get into actually living it, because that's what you got to do, live into it. They start seeing themselves in a different light. One person says, I can't believe what I did with money. I literally squander it, and I would say I have no more money. She says, and the whole time you keep asking me to this one question over and over, I would ask at different intervals, and she'll say, one day I finally answered the question because I was so fed up of you asking the question. And I realized me saying I didn't have any money was not true, was just such a bad habit.
Yes. And you should have what you say.
Yeah. And so, of course, she has no money because she keeps saying it. So if you keep saying I can't work out, I can't do push-ups. Guys, if you had seen me when I did my first push-ups, I fell back down so many times. My son held me up, I fell down. My husband held me up, I fell down. The guys both held me up. And when they let go of me, I was down. I couldn't hold For the life of me, week after week after week, I couldn't hold myself up. And so I joined a workout fitness at my church. I went and do kickboxing at a resource center that we have. And I worked out at home. I had three things going on and I wouldn't give up. One day I make myself gain enough strength in the upper arm and I did my first push-up. I think it's about nearly 3 months and a week later, I was able to push myself up. I fall down. I was rolling, laughing. I couldn't believe I did my first push-up. And this is what happened when you stay focused on what is it you set out to do, right? We're talking about health, wealth. And if you want to be healthy and you want to be wealthy, you're going to have to take control of your health. It is important. It's important. It's very important. And number 3 was, where should you be at this moment to stay this way? Oh. Whatever is your goal, I want you to stay focused to get there. But here is what I want you to do. I want halfway through this process, you set a new goal. Here is what the killer of goals. When you set a goal and you reach it, this is a human thing. This is not a money thing. This is not how rich or poor you are. You do not move to the second goal if you haven't set it in place. You stay there. You glorify yourself. You tell old stories. You congratulate you like nobody's business. You party you out. And now there's no goal. And setting a new goal is going to be just as hard as the first goal because you didn't do it while you were in momentum. You need to do it while you're in momentum. So for my coaching people, I like to have them set 3 goals, not 1, 3. When they hit the first goal, they know they still have to go to the second goal and a third. What do you think happens? When we're in the second goal, when we hit the second goal, you know they're planning for the next 3 goals. And guys, it doesn't have to be big when you started out. So if you wanted to lose belly fat, whatever you need to do, you're doing that. If you needed to have more stamina when you walk or run, that's what you do. If you need to eat better, that's your third goal. All these things are in place. And as you watch them happen, you are making sure that you celebrate yourself that it took place. And then you go to the next one and you celebrate and the next, and you have the rest that you keep climbing. If you are building your physical wealth, you don't just stop. You keep doing it. You keep moving towards where you're going. This is an upward climb, guys. This is an upward climb.
Wow.
This is an upward climb. When you start understanding that you're climbing and keeping yourself healthy, and things change over time. You're growing. You're learning new things. You're understanding. And you're understanding how to regulate your stress. Each and every one of us have stresses in different areas. Okay. And stress is a culprit of almost all illnesses. This came from my doctor. Stress. She says, because it's so unexplainable and it's invisible, you don't see when it starts. It's invisible. This is the worst kind of any illnesses. So if your blood pressure is climbing, what are you worried about? If it's lowering, my daughter has low, my mom has high. So they have the opposite. And I had a cousin who had low blood pressure. And when I think about what my doctor told me, I look back at my cousin and I realize she really used to be in a lot of trouble when she was in those lows in her lives, when she was stressing out of things that she couldn't handle. She would just pass out because she had low blood pressure. And so this would just happen to her because she was stressing herself so badly. She was on meds, but it didn't do anything because she was stressing so much. And then they'll up the medication. She'll be okay for a little bit, and then she'll be back on, it'll happen again. And so no matter what you have, whatever is going on to you, do this little exercise. So you're panicking, you're stressing, right? And I want you to sit there and I want you to sip water. I don't want you to drink the water. I just want you to sip the water. You want you to pick up the glass of water and I want your lips to touch it and just take in a very tiny bit. And I don't want you to swallow it right away. I want you to slowly allow it to go down, okay? And that is you calming yourself down. That is you getting to the place. Then I want you to start taking some deep breaths. And I don't want it to come out your mouth. I want it to come out your nose. Deep breath in, your nose. A couple of those, then you do the mouth kind. You start calming yourself down. you start, and depending on how high you are, sometimes it take a lot of calming down. But I promise you, if you stay at it, you'll get yourself there. Slowly but surely, you'll get yourself there. And if things are really hard, find something that makes you laugh, something that just makes you get into this happy place. I want you to just be in the most happiest place you're ever in, and just stay at it. I want you to just stay at it. And once you're there, then we can get to do the hard stuff. One might the stuff that might feel hard for you. Not because it's necessarily hard, but it feels hard for you.
Mhm.
When you understand how to look after your health, guys, you're gonna start seeing yourself differently as a wealthy person. You have things to live for. You have things to look forward to. You know, you're ready to work hard to get to where you need to be. I was telling Terry this last week, and it's still stand true. Our blessings are right in front of us. They're not hiding, but it's the work that we need to do to see it come to fruition. Because as humans, that's what we need to do. But the spirit know it already. You ever had a feeling where you know something that you know something that you know something, and you can't explain to anybody how you know this thing?
Mm.
It's happened already. It's waiting for you to catch up. It's happened already. And if you went in and do what you got to do, you're going to see that it came to fruition. There's so many things that I wanted that I get to experience, that when I wanted it, I didn't think that I could experience it until I was there experiencing it, or after I experienced it. But it had happened already. I had a tiny fridge, guys. One time in my life when I was a teenager, I had this tiny fridge, and I was doing business out of this tiny fridge. And this is all I could afford at the time. And I hated debt, so I wouldn't get myself in debt. I had the cash, and I bought the fridge. It cost me about $300. And I bought the fridge. And the fridge freezer was small because it was a small fridge. And it felt like, I could say now, it feels when I look back like it was a miracle. Like I had a miracle fridge because I knew what I wanted to do with this fridge and freezer. And I would make the kind of money out of the fridge and freezer. My skin is growing as I tell you here. That out of this, if I tell somebody without actually going and do it, they'll tell me it can't work. Matter of fact, a few people say to me, how much fridge you have in this house that you produce so much per day? Because I sell ice. I used to sell ice. I used to sell popsicle. I used to sell, you guys call it freezies here. We call it icicle. I would sell a whole bunch of things out of this freezer, right? Because I knew what I asked for. God has given me the skills to do it. And I decided I'm going to see it through. That's really what it is. Now, how am I seeing that through though? So guys, I'm doing all the business. I'm making the money. Here's what I am not neglecting. I was a dancer. So I dance 3 times a week. And the other 3 days, I work out with a tennis pro. It was brutal. He was vicious. We all want to quit, let me tell you. But he was so good for me that when I go to dance practice, I can outdance anybody. I could stay longer on the dance floor. The combination was crazy. I remember my grandmother saying to me, Caren, you're going to burn out if you can dance and work out. But I was the best dancer in those days because I danced and I attend my classes and I come back, take a shower, and I get straight to my work. And so I'm showing up with a lot of results, but because I put in the time. I put in the time on myself. So that means I read a lot of books. I attend my workout class, my dance practice. I practice at home. I talk to as many people as possible, which means I help a lot of people along the way. There's this 2075 hard that people, this guy had challenged people to do on TikTok. And if you had ever done it, you will surprise yourself in how much great things you can do. He asks you to read a book daily and he tell you how many pages. He asks you to work out morning and afternoon, 1 inside, 1 outside. He didn't restrict anything you do, everything you have to figure out how to do for yourself. Guess what? If you did it, you gain a lot of knowledge. I did a little extra with it. I did it twice. Lost 45 pounds the first time, lost 25 the second time around. It is crazy good, but you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it to see the results. You read the books, you gain more knowledge. I start thinking in a different way. I start realizing businesses that I want to keep and the ones I want to let go of, even if it was making me money, because all my businesses make me money, by the way, guys. But when I understand something need to leave me because it's time suck, I let it go. Even if I can have somebody else run it. Some things was just there for temporary, just like friends, right? And it needs to go because for we health, as we're talking, that's another thing. you might not even realize how much time and how much it's drawing from your health when you spread yourself too thin.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's tricky as the stress. That's as tricky as the stress. Sorry guys. This is why I love my calendar. This is why I would spend Sunday poring over my calendar, watching to see what needs to leave the calendar, what need to go to somebody else. I would spend time teaching somebody because I wanted to take over what I'm doing, so it'll feel like a waste. I ain't gonna lie. When I first started this journey, like a waste of money because I'm paying them. They're getting a little stipend, nothing big, but they're getting some money from me. But they're not really doing work for me. But it's okay because when they do start doing work for me, it's gonna be the work I want them to do,
Mm.
and it's not wasted in the long run. But it's saving me. It's allowing me. So my schedule is very tight. Like I tighten it up. And the beautiful thing about my schedule is I give everything a date. It's a project on the schedule. It's a
Okay.
project. I'm writing a book. I got the days I'm writing the book, the hours I'm writing the book. I literally write um when the book, whatever I'm writing, I literally write at the end of the day what happened, what took place, why I didn't accomplish it, what could I improve upon, what was the purpose of this. Like I literally go through these processes because it keeps me on top of things. It's not good enough just to write the book or write a chapter in the book, but it's important for me to know what was happening around the time that I'm doing it. And am I taking the time needed? Am I taking too much time? Am I wasting time? Or I'm not giving it enough time? And so you learn all those things when you look after your health. It
Wow.
opens you up. It truly opens you up.
Wow, Coach. Thank you so much for emphasizing, health wealth, because
Mhm.
we really need to get a grip on what's really important
Mhm.
and what is going to keep us wealthy. And one of
Yes.
them is to be healthy.
Healthy. Healthy.
Mhm.
Have a healthy mind. Oh, I love that part about guys. Forgive people who has been on your subconscious, just hanging on there. That's a big one. How could I leave it out? Just forgive people. It's not that big a deal anymore. It has passed. They can't hurt you anymore. Whatever hurt they've done to you, it is
Let it
done.
go.
It was done. It's done. It's not there anymore. Let it go.
Mhm.
Forgive them. Move on. Don't encourage them to do it again, but forgive them and move on. Please. Okay, I'm done.
All right, guys, we want to remind you that Coach Karen can be found everywhere at Profits in Daily. So if you're looking to connect with her, make sure that you find her there on the internet machine under Profits in
There.
Daily. Also, she has the opportunity for you to come to her coaching sessions. And she also is providing a course.
Mhm. Yes. Yes.
So we'll put those
Yeah.
in the links for you. And we just want to thank you so much, Coach. You do so
Oh,
much.
you're welcome.
You do so much. And we want to remind you guys it's okay to make money in your business. For
Definitely.
the front of your own line.
Yes.
Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, Doc. Bye bye, everyone.